Uh, YouTube. All right, can y'all hear me? Is it still good? Can y'all hear me? Is it still good? Okay, perfect. I don't have my microphone today. Yeah, yeah. Okay. You guys can hear me? I'm checking all the checking everything. All right. Yeah, this one's good. This one's golden. Yeah. I'm gonna let this do its thing, honestly. Yeah. ASTS is golden. Easy work. Easy bag. Don't mind me, I just woke up. Whoa. There we go. Oh my goodness. I just bought like as soon as the market opened. Oh my goodness. Let's go, baby. I should have bought like 10, bro. My fault. I'm just dropping this link. Um, yeah, it's beautiful. All right, yeah. So with the ASTS, I'm gonna let this run. Like I said, we have earnings. So yeah, we're green on all positions. All positions green. I'm in a SPY 742 calls for tomorrow. HIMS $40 May 29th calls and ASTS 100 May 22nd calls. Um yeah, like I said, I'm gonna let these play out. ASTS for sure, because it has earnings this week. Uh but yeah, as long as 80 holds, I might add more to that for some weekly earnings. Now HIMS, yeah, HIMS just waiting for it to hold this 28 level. Oh, also let me know if y'all can't hear me because like I said, I'm in the hotel lobby, so I don't want to be too loud and stuff like that. Gotta be considerate. I can't really see my chat from here. But yeah, this one, yeah, 27 would be a nice little retest for hymns. But I still like it. Like I said, I have further out just to start position. I haven't full size yet. And then of course, spy. Yeah. Spy is good. Spy is good. I'm not gonna lie. Spy should be straight. Yeah. So as long as the next 2 hours holds, over this little fake wick, whatever that is, the 738, it should be smooth. Uh yeah, and I still want that 741, 742. Um mRNA. This I want to do mRNA just because the little hint virus stuff. So let me see. Yeah, mRNA just flipped green. So I'm gonna do let's change this around a little bit so I can see it better. There you go. Yeah, see, look at that wick. Turn all this off. 65. There's a gap at 79. All right, perfect. There's a gap at 79 on mRNA, so I'm gonna try to find a good strike. Excuse me. Ugh. Mm, let's see. Yeah, because if this flips green, it's gonna start pushing. Hotel lobby kind of going crazy. Let's zoom out even more. Oh yeah, it's finally dipping. Just a second. 90, 79. So 90 to 80. Trying to find a good strike. See what's got some good volume. Isn't too crazy expensive, you know. It's, 23. Yeah, because they keep talking about this, you know, this the virus or whatever. So oh, we have data too. Don't forget about that. We have data um a few times this week. Yeah, it's gonna be good. We'll put this back up here. There's a gap right here. Right at 85. So if 80 breaks, you can go ahead and get that. 85, and then of course 90. Yeah, I really want to do this mRNA, but the contracts are just so, you know, and it's mRNA, it's all news based for the virus and stuff like that. So mm, yeah, I'll probably leave this one alone for now. I'm mad though because I called mRNA $60 next week plays on that's Monday? No, I'll say what that. Yeah, right here. Thursday. Thursday I called let me see if I can pull it up. Oh yeah, right here. Hold on. Bro, look at this. I called mRNA $60 8 DTs. Look at this. Crazy work, bro. It's crazy work. You know, but I mean, you win some, you lose some. It is what it is. It's all part of the game. But yeah, nonetheless, I do think just based on, you know, news and, you know, all the whole stuff. Plus, we can get a little measured move, honestly, from the bottom of this cup. We can get at least 60 to 65 in the next, you know, few days or so if they want to keep being like, oh, you know, bad news, bad news, bad news. So 65 calls or 130. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. Nah. Just because I don't trade this enough to know how the contracts really move, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, plus it's just not enough. I don't really see too much volume on these. I see some open interest, but I'm not really seeing much of a volume on those. Let's check on SPY. First 30-minute candle, decent, cool, right? We already have this level as a, you know, kind of a topping zone. So between, as long as this and this roughly holds, right? So as long as this holds on SPY, any dip you can really buy, honestly. Um, I gotta start the video off with what they say. Nope, this is not financial advice. It's so funny when you gotta start the videos off like that. It's not financial advice, guys. Yeah. So SPY is obviously gonna be our main day trading one, but yeah, that opening print was actually crazy. But I had swung some calls, and then I got 742s at open, so I trimmed some of those at 30%. Yeah, not really too focused on them, honestly. Like I said, yeah, any dip over here, right? Let's say we do get a dip down here and it holds, right? It has to hold. Remember, confirmation has to hold. So if it does hold, yeah, we'll look to, you know, even if it just goes from here, you know, bull flag, whatever, wants to go get that 740. But obviously you don't want to chase at all-time high. So don't just be buying calls every high, you know. So you gotta have reasons why. So for me, reasons why I got calls is because we already had a bull flag playing out in pre-market, right? And I always tell you guys, make sure you have your pre-market levels marked off and stuff like that, just so you can, you know, um, have some levels, especially because we're all-time high, so we don't really have much to go off of. So yeah, if they can give it to us, I'll definitely load some more. But if not, yeah, I'm leaving this one alone, letting that thing run. This one's come back testing that 80. These are good though. I think these are good. Like I said, we have these for what are these for? Hold on. ASTS is May 22nd, yeah. And I trimmed some of those at 70%, 69%. So golden. And then just wait on this bad boy. But yeah, remember these are all 4-hour charts. And this is a daily chart. So I'm not really, like I said, I'm not worried at all about these. But I know y'all are here for SPY, you know. I know y'all are here for some good day trades. But yeah, if it just yeah, that's the thing about SPY though. It's like, ugh, if it just keeps pumping, like you gotta just let it let it keep going, you know. I close. Nobody actually in here. Ugh. Ugh. Whew. Because I got bags under my eyes. I ain't been sleeping. Been traveling for like, but I swear I just never get off the road. It feels like. Let me check the audio. Audio still good? Yeah, my mom has Hunter. Oh snap! Damn. If you're being serious, like then that, sorry for that. But if you're joking, but yeah, man, I just I I can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I tell you guys this every time I go live. I know we have gaps below, right? I know there's gaps below in SPY. I know everybody needs this crazy pullback, but like I always say, if the pullback's gonna happen, I will walk you guys through the pullback, right? Every day I upload, every day I post, I will always give you guys the downside play, right? So you don't have to just keep worrying about those downside gaps and all the gaps we didn't feel and stuff like that, right? Because if the market's not going to fill it now, you know, there's no need to worry about when it's going to get filled. If it doesn't open and tries to attempt to fill those gaps, as long as you mark the gap, as long as you know it's there, right? We know the gap is there, right? But, you know, relax. CPI, yep. Think SPY's gonna pump. Yes, I do think SPY's gonna pump. But like I said, in the video, if you zoom onto a 4-hour chart, just look where we are. This is the only reason why I'm saying, hey, be extremely careful with these calls. This is why I'm not playing 0DTs today. Um, this is why I also trimmed a lot at 28% on those spot calls, because remember, so we had this is our upper resistance, right? This is upper resistance for our SPY right here. Bing, 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 right? This is upper resistance. So now we have to zoom out even more, right? Keep zooming out. Remember, when in doubt, zoom out. See, it's the channel we've been in for years, for years, for years. We've been holding this channel. But now we've finally broken over the channel. But the retest, we went a bit lower, obviously, because of, the Trump stuff and Iran on blah, blah, blah. But once we got back in this channel, right, inverse head and shoulder, bang, we just, obviously no one knew it would squeeze this hard, but we knew we'd eventually go back up and retest these levels. But now that we've broken out, retested, this overhead resistance, right? This is where I assumed we'd get our first pullback. And we kind of did, not really too crazy. It was more chop, but yeah, see, we've broken out over that. So now this is all what you have to worry about. This upper zone right here, right? This right here. This is what you got to worry about, overhead resistance, because we consolidated in here, right, for a little while, and then we dumped, right? And now we're finally back over. So initially, what day was that, Thursday? Yeah, Thursday we did have our first, like, pullback day. But even then, it was weird because we had this huge gap, right? I mean, we had this huge this print right here, but I didn't see this print on any other platform. Like I didn't see this print on Robinhood. I didn't see this on Webull. So I just marked it, but it did still end up giving us the inverse head and shoulder, which was, we saw this in pre-market on Friday. So when I went live Friday, we actually caught this right at open. This is gorgeous. Held the levels, previous days close, previous days high. So as of now, for us, look, we just got to do the same thing. Oh, hold on. We can get rid of this now because we already see it, but I made this before. But now, let's move this previous day's high, previous day's close. All right. So you see how you just keep moving the zones, keep moving the zones. And that's really all you can do for spot. Don't try to chase it. Don't try to anticipate. When the dumps come in and stuff like that. No, remember the trend is your friend. All right, the trend is your friend. Morning. Okay, let's pop in. I'm thinking hymns calls. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So hymns calls. I actually have. Let me see. I have Hims, May 29th calls, $40 strike. I have ASTS, $100 strike, uh 522 expiration. And then I still have, like I said, I still have the spy calls. But those like I said, everything's green. Um, fill my gap. Yeah, funny. Yeah, everything's green. Only one that's not green, like I said, yeah, it's just Hims. But like I said, we have time. And it's a scale, right? You want to make sure you clear 30 first and clear that overnight wick. We clear that, then I'll be able to add it to a full position. But ASTS, yeah, I've already entered, trimmed, and I'm like I said, I'm holding for earnings. Um, so that one's gonna be smooth. Yeah, mRNA, man, that's I want to do this one so bad because I know when, well, if I don't want to jinx it, but if this hantavirus stuff really does like take off, basically all the COVID stuff is gonna happen all over again. So mRNA, let's see what happened with mRNA. mRNA went crazy. Yeah, like look at this, like look at these levels, bro. This is crazy. Realistically could buy like some $200 crazy, like leap or something. That if obviously I don't wish sickness or illness on the country or really anybody or anything, but you know what I'm saying. If there's still ways to there's still ways to profit off of this. But yeah, 50% still on these ASTSs. Like I said, I'm gonna hold a few of those. They're up over I think like $100 a contract. Um, so yeah, that's a free ball. But the only reason, like I said, only reason about this is because it's so news based, it really can just pump and dump on you. But I mean, see, look at that. Let's see. How many days is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. About 8 days. So let's say we go 2 weeks out. 2 weeks. Ooh. 2 weeks out. $80 strike. Let's just look. Let's just look. I'm not gonna touch. Let's just look. mRNA. Would I say 2 weeks out? Or what about next week? Let's see. Next week, see, look, this is the thing though. Like, even though, let's say this all pops off, the thing is, there's no volume on these contracts, bro. Like, there's literally no volume on these contracts. There's like 50 volume, I mean, the closest one is like for next week, is $60 calls, but I'm not spending $320 per contract for a stock I don't even really trade, right? That's just not that's not how I trade. Even though like, I will trade other stocks. You know me, I'm SPY. I'm in SPY every single day. I'm taking money from SPY every single day, whether it's chop, no matter what it is. I'm gonna bank on SPY every single day. Right. And we y'all know this. We do this every day. Um, but yeah, like other tickers, I don't because I don't, you know what I'm saying? Each ticker moves a little different. Each ticker, the options move a little different, everything moves different. So you can't trade everything like it's the same, right? Like if this was SPY, I would already be in, you know, $39 one ET, I mean, or my fault, next week's or something like that. I'd already be spamming them because I know exactly how SPY moves. But it's kind of like trading Tesla. Like Tesla's a weird one to trade. Like when it runs, you're good. You're golden when Tesla runs. But Tesla's weird because it's so iffy. Yeah, see, like this, you'll go crazy and then you'll get a, let's see. Right? You'll get like a 2% down, and then you'll get a random like huge, you know what I'm saying? Like it does too much for me. And see, look, like just all that chop. I don't like that. So I don't really trade Tesla unless it's Friday. There we go. ASTS. All right, let's put this back up at 85 or that gap right here, or 84.60. So that'll be our next trim level. Like I said, I'm still holding a bunch of those just because SPY is still holding a bunch of those. Well, not a bunch, I'm not holding a bunch, but I'm trimming just because like any little thing in this resistance area, I don't want to be caught off guard, like with a bad catalyst. But yeah, so my next target is this right in the middle, right smack in the middle. And this is basically what I'm using, because like I said, because we keep going past all-time highs, I've had to use different, channels and all this stuff to kind of give me, even here, see, look, we consolidated in between here. Even though we were just kind of bouncing back and forth, still slow grinding up. But once we had that breakout, retest, right? Breakout again, retest, bought calls. I told you guys on live that this was a trap. Like if you were in that live on last week, bro, I called that to a T. I was like, bro, you know it's a bear trap because one, we're in a bull market. Two, we took out the swing, that recent swing, right? And three, it starts to feel real. Once that trap starts to feel real, that's when everybody starts piling in. When everybody turns bearish, everybody's like, all right, yo, it's about to dump, it's about to dump. And but it's not dumping, right? We got a little wick, but you had a low, you had a close, you had a close, you had a close, you had a close, right? They never made that new low. And then it had that pop. So of course in my brain, I'm like, what how many times have we played a bear trap on this channel, right? Plenty of times on this whole run up, bear trap here, right? But bear trap here, you had bear traps here, right? Once it starts to, right, you got this wave, and then once it starts to kind of sweep that swing, like it looks like it might be starting time to reverse, but it just won't reverse. And then you start seeing that squeeze back above, right, where we were. That's when you know, hey, it's coming out to take out that high. And that's exactly what it did, right? But the sad part about this one, or the messed up part, was they did it right at the end, that wick. But we made 138% on that one wick at the end of the day. Um, so of course I didn't swing as many, but then we open up, we go right back to all-time highs. So of course, we knew the game plan, and then in pre-market we already saw the inverse head and shoulder neckline, right? So now we just, it took us a few days to consolidate. I mean, a few days, my fault, I'm sorry. It took us a few, probably about hours, hours on Friday and then hours on Monday to break out of this. So like I said, any kind of pullback, I would hope, they give us one sooner than later. Like I don't want to see it come all the way up here and then get a pullback. I kind of wanted this to pull back, right? But like I said, I'm not gonna fight it. If they want to keep squeezing the bears, so be it. But I do kind of want to pull back just so we can, add into our position. Um, okay. Hymns, like I said, this is for all 4 hour charts, so it's good. Why does it keep coming off there? Yeah. I need to start y'all need to start doing a little donation to my my trading view fund. You know me, I don't be I use the free trading view, man. You don't gotta spend too much money, man. Cause I know I saw on Twitter people who were like panned for like the expensive trading view. I forget exactly what they were doing on it, but trading view was like, hey, we've recognized you as a professional trader. So it made them purchase like $2,500 package. And I'm like, how you gonna make me purchase a package just because you think I'm a professional trader? That's crazy. Like that's messed up. It's got to go against some sort of rules or something. But yeah, ASTS, man. Yeah, earnings this week. So I'm just in. Hey, I'm just going along for the ride. You feel me? There we go. There we go. Let's check on these spy calls. Spy calls also looking good. Yep. Back up 25% on those 1DTs. We should hold on. Oh dang, my phone's trying to update. Don't do this right now. What Usher said, you serious? Yeah. 740, 741. Let's check the zeros on SPY. Actually, no, never mind, never mind. We're sticking to our plan, right? We're sticking to our plan. I'm not playing zeros right now because I'm actually about to whenever my family check, because my family's out there sleeping in the hotel room. It's the only reason why I'm trading down here. But yeah, whenever it's time for me to go, obviously I'm gonna be back on the road. We're in Oklahoma right now. Uh, so yeah, I'm gonna be back on the road. So I don't want to be in zeros just in case, just in case anything, you know, signals goes out, all that stuff. Let me see. Gaps get filled 70% of the time. Doesn't matter. Yeah, doesn't matter. For real, for real. Yeah. Yeah, anything, obviously, you know how the market does. Like anything that's not 100%, which is nothing, we can't really, like I said, obviously I always love gap fill reversals. And that's why I prefer when we have like slight gaps, like when we have the little gaps, it's always easier because we'll get like that first candle will usually come down and give us a little wick or something. Um, those are the days I like, but it's like, man, sometimes, especially in this market, we just been gapping, leaving the gaps, gapping and going, So, and then even something like this, like we almost filled the gap, but we didn't necessarily fill it all the way. So, yeah, the market's been a little different lately. But like I said, it's nothing we can't adapt to. We're solid, in our calls and stuff like that. But yeah, not all the time. But yeah, the 70% chance that they do when they do it, it's beautiful. Gap reversals are gorgeous. Fill my gap. Hey yo, pause in front of my orange juice. You wrong. Girlfriend puts. You shorting your girlfriend, gang? Oh nah. My boy shorting his girlfriend. Is that a real stock? Hold on, let me see. GF? Nah, gang. You can't short your girl, twin. Twin trying to short his girlfriend. He said, get her out of here. Yeah, I don't know what this is. But let's look at it anyway, right? This is why y'all are here. Let's look at this girlfriend stock. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah. Yeah, it seems like he's in some sideways consolidation. So really, you can play this either way, right? You could play it below 11, right? Might come back down to that 10 to 9. As long as it stays above this, I wouldn't trade in the middle because it's in the middle, right? We don't diddle in the middle, undiddle in the middle. But if it does break out over this 1250, right? Breakout, retest, or breakout, retest. But right here in the middle, I wouldn't touch this at all. 8 words, short. Oh nah. Nah, twin. I'm not saying that out loud. You know them trigger words. They say that my whole stream might get taken out. And he said, "Oh nah, my boy going my boy sitting in the cup chair. There we go, Spy. Spy's still good. Yeah, Hims, like I said, Hims is gonna be more of a, you know, this is a 4 hour chart, so I'm not really too worried. There we go. As long as ASTS and Spy, those are our two heaviest positions right now. So if you missed the beginning, I'm in 529 Hims $40 calls. I'm in 522 ASTS $100 calls, and I'm in tomorrow's expiration SPY 742 calls. So yeah, and like I said, I'm trying to refrain from the zero DTs. Just like I said, because I'm on the road and the signal's weird all over the country. But if we get there today, I'm gonna be. I'm trying to remain professional. I'm in the hotel lobby. I don't want to come off like I'm tweaking. They're gonna be like, "The fuck wrong with this thing?" Too bad she's in my. Oh damn! My girlfriend broke up to the upside. Went to a 6'6". No, no. Wallahi, you're cooked, man. Nah, short. Matter of fact, yeah, bro. Short your girlfriend, man. We finna short his girlfriend. She left you for a 6'6" football player. You gotta shoot him. It's the only way. You have to. You gotta get your get back, man. Me personally, I'm not letting that happen, son. You got a gap right here, and then you got a gap right here. So you're like in between two gaps. The gap close to the upside or the gap close to the downside, and then flip back up to the upside. Ah, so tired, man. It was like a 6.5 hour drive from Nebraska yesterday. I'm like, bro, who lives up here? Nobody. We were in Omaha. My sister graduated college. Bro, there's no Ubers out there. It's insane. But the thing is, if there are Ubers, the Ubers are like $6, bro. Like from the campus to the hotel I was at, it was like $6. Even though nobody picked me up. But the fact that there was an option to pay for an Uber for $6, I'm like, oh yeah. Bro, my sister, so she flew back home. We're driving with all her stuff in the car. Um, so she flew back home to Houston. So for her to get to Houston to my condo in downtown, $70. $70 for a Uber, bro. I said, I said, bro, no way. No fucking way. $70? Bro. And mind you, I go to USC, so I fly from Houston to LA every other week, right? Bro, the Ubers are probably the worst experience. Like, I hate flying, I hate traveling. Well, not traveling, I hate the transportation part. I hate flying, I hate riding in cars for too long. But bro, when I'm Ubering back from IH back to my condo, bro. I'd be so pissed, bro. Like I'm sitting here like, bro, I will do Uber pool for like $30, bro. Like I'm not spending $80 just to get home. Downtown Houston is probably like 25 minutes from the airport. And you're telling me I gotta pay $70? Nah. He filled the gap, not gonna lie. He just like me. Just like me, twin. Twin. We locked in forever. Out here filling gaps. Y'all finna get me canceled. Yeah, if you look, if you can't fill your girlfriend's gaps, what gaps can you fill? You feel me? Gotta fill your girlfriend gaps. Wait, hold on. Girlfriend did not fill a gap. Yeah, this thing don't even. I don't even know what this is. But look, I ain't gonna lie. Look, hold on. Mm, 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 mm. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Even though I wouldn't touch this, that's all I'm saying. Hey, give me some other tickers though. Give me what? They paid me on Uber for. I never said. How's this guy so bro? I don't know. I don't even. I'm still new to all this YouTube stuff. I don't even know how half of this stuff works, bro. I'm just. I found OBS. They told me download OBS. They say hey, go live. I'm live. Yeah, Spy kind of pausing, which is good because, like I said, I'm tired of this just vertical movement, bro. Give us something, a pullback or something. There we go. I'd rather us come all the way back down and then go, or even F it, come all the way down, dump here. Yeah. Let's check on these ASTSs. We're up 60% on the news, bad boys. Yeah, we're up 60% on those. Like I said, hymns not really moving, but I don't have a full position on those. I only got quarter position on these hymns. Those are down 6%. But like I said, they're for the 29th of May. So I'm not worried at all about hymns. Yeah. As long as, like I said, as long as hymns hold 27, hold these SMAs, we have the 5-day SMA and the 20-day SMA. And the 20 is crossing above the 5. So I do expect a pullback, right? I expect us to, 5 days to start trending up as well. 20 days to start. Oh my God, you can't see that. Yeah, so I do expect it to, go back up in the next coming days. Like I said, it's a 4-hour chart. So, the higher time frame you're on, the more you have to wait, the more you got to be patient with it. So, not really tripping about that. Ooh, SPY. Yeah, see, look, this is exactly why I said don't blindly buy into these crazy pushes because look, the main way you trade, right, is you always look left. You can't look left because we have nothing. There's nothing to look left at, right? There's nothing here. So, of course, you got to be more on the relaxed, chill side because you can get something like this, right? Trying to buy into these all-time highs. And that's why I said I'm avoiding zeros. That's why I said, hey, should we do some zeros? I said, nah, 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 no zeros, no zeros. See, and this is how you exercise restraint. Look, like I said, only levels we have is previous day's high, previous day's close. That's literally all we have. So we gotta either just wait for reaction down there, Yeah, see, look, 20 seconds left, didn't do anything. But the messed up part is, people who aren't, patient, they will see this wick and just instantly go short, right? But that's the thing, like you can't really believe a wick. You really, like I always say, we care about the candle open and the candle closed. That'll give us confirmation about the next move. So, like I said, if this, if we're above this previously high, previous close, I can't say like, oh, I'm in a short right now. I'm not going to. Now, if we get back under, right, previous day's close, we close that gap, we cannot reclaim, and we go short, right? We have a nice look at this risk to reward. Look at this from here to here, way better than me trying to go short from here to what here or here to here. I'm not doing that, right? I'm not doing that. The main thing you do in trading is you want to preserve your capital so you can trade the next day, right? You want to be able to save your money so that even if you miss today's day, even if let's say SPY goes directly up again, if you miss it, eventually you will catch something, right? The market will always give you an entry. It'll always give you a trade. It'll always give you something. So you don't have to sit there and be like, oh, I missed this one. Let me go heavy or let me, do this. Nah, it's fine. Right? Even if you missed this whole move, even if you missed this one candle dump, it's fine. The market just opened, bro. It's 9:30. So chill, relax. I know my motto: keep doing it till something change, right? You keep respecting the levels so they don't work no more. So you got a channel here, and then you just all you have now is just this right here. But obviously you're gonna need way more than a couple candles to figure out what's going on. So yeah, previous day's high is right here. We lose previous day's high, first step. We lose previous day's close, that's step 2. So in that case, you have a breakdown, and then now you see, do we bounce from here? Is this just a, because remember I said I do want to retest if we're gonna go higher. So is the market finally gonna give me my retest? And if it does, now we can play a couple zeros real quick before I gotta go. So we'll definitely get some zeros going if that's the case. And like I said, if it's not, we break down back below. Oh, damn, this shit happened quick as hell. Damn, maybe we should have got some. But yeah, if we do start to close below this, then like I said, we can look for the breakdown and retest. But anything above previous day's high, previous day's close, I'm not gonna short into that. Oh, that bad boy's coming down. It's going down. All right, yeah. So see, I'd rather wait to all this in here decide, hey, are we gonna be support, right? Is this just gonna be a retest finally? So Trump can say, oh, we finally gonna deal with Iran. They're not gonna have any more. We finally got the best. It's the best. Iran's the best. Or is he gonna be like, no deal, everything's off the table, we're gonna blow them up? So we'll have to wait and see. All right. I wonder if this is a news wick or if this is just one of those like shake people out wigs. See, look, and that's why I said you can't just be shorting into this, because if you try to chase these moves, yeah, possibly, like I said, you could, you get lucky where it just flushes that below. But that's not necessarily how you want to trade, right? Because let's say you get lucky once or twice, right? Let's say you just like you buy the bottom, you're like, F it, I'm gonna go short right now. Let's say it does go, you're like, all right, cool. It's gonna tell your brain to keep doing that. But that's just not how the market operates 80% of the time, right? The market doesn't always move in a straight line. We usually get breakdown, pull back, retest, and then go lower, or we'll break out, retest, and then go higher, right? So because we're in a bull market, like it's still very scary playing puts, even though we're all the way up here. But we got an hour and 26 minutes left to this 4 hour. So we're definitely gonna watch this higher time frame close. Remember, we care about candles. Open it where they opened at and where they closed at. The wick's just liquidity. You don't want to be liquidity. And that's why I said we played 1 DTEs and we trimmed along all these pushes and stuff like that. ASTS still good. Hims. Him still on the same old shit. I keep forgetting there's people around me. Girlfriend. Did your girlfriend fill the gap? Somebody getting cussed out over here. Let's see. Let's actually look for some strikes while we wait for SPY. Let's check all the time frames. Yep, see, still below. We'll make this a little darker or a little, more solid so you can be careful of it. But actually, hold on. Previous day high. There you go. Previous day's high. Previous day's close. There you go. So this is your zone. So like I said, I'm probably gonna have to dip probably the next like 15. My mom wants me to help come up. Pack. Me and my dad gotta put stuff in the car. Um, oop, okay, ASTS. Those are now up, I think 115 per contract. I'm gonna take 2 more off just because it's Monday. We love a good green Monday, green day in general. All right, let's get to SPY. Now, is this a trap? We're gonna find out. Right, pulled right back into the 21 EMA cloud. I don't like this wick though. I prefer to see a candle close in here. Because wicks are, wicks can just be your initial reaction, your hot stove reaction. So as long as we hold above this, right? We start pushing above this. Oh, hold on. If you've been in this live this whole time, you just heard me go over what a bear trap was, right? This is if this plays out, this would be textbook bear trap. So look, you have your actually let's change color. I don't know why it's so dark. I can't see it. So like, right? Yeah. Continue, right? You're in an uptrend, uptrend, uptrend. What happened? You took out that swing, right? You took out that swing. Most people are, like I said, instantly bought shorts and now they're underwater. So now the market's gonna mess around with them. If it continues lower, right? Finally, we get a trend change, and then like I said, we can play to the downside. But if it's not, then this is just a bear trap, and then it'll force all those shorts to buy out of their position and squeeze us and take us right back to high day. So, um, my mom just came down. They're about to get some breakfast. Let's see what these calls looking like. The 740s are how much? They're not that bad. 740s? What's that? Where's seven? Yeah, 740. Oh my god. So yeah, see, you'll get stuff like that, right? And anything, like I said, anything in between that, you still got to be careful because you don't want to be the trap. I mean, you don't want to be liquidity, right? You don't want to be liquidity. I don't want to be liquidity. So you got to let these candles close, right? Let it play around a bit first, right? You want it to feel real. You want the short to feel real. You want it to get some closes to go lower. But as long as, like I said, as long as that gap, if it holds, gotta go long, right? So yeah, let that kind of play out for a few candles. Um, I'll probably be dropping if I do get back on some zeros, I'll drop it in the chat. And but I do have to go because I have a few students to mentor today. So my schedule's gonna be pretty booked and I'm gonna be on the road as well. So I'm gonna have to, it's gonna be a little more difficult because I'm gonna be in the car with just my travel Mac, which doesn't have the biggest screen. I think it's like 13-inch Mac right here. So but yeah, we see how that plays out. So this is textbook bear trap territory, right? It's not confirmed bear trap yet, but it's bear trap territory because it's setting up for what bear traps do, right? You continue up, and then and then they're gonna try to maybe once or twice you want it to feel like it's about to dump, and then they'll just come do like this, right? They come take out that high. So if that's what happens, we come hit 740, it's gonna be nice. But yeah, I got to do some mentoring. It's almost 10 o'clock. So yeah, I'm gonna leave y'all with that. Hold on. Okay, bet trades. IBM. Yeah, okay, I'll look at IBM real quick. Spy just took my line. Bro, don't be giving away money, man. Do not be giving away no money. All right, so let's what was it? IBM. IBM ain't that oh no, I'm thinking about IBS. I'm like, ain't that the stomach? I'm thinking about irritable bowel syndrome. I'm over here geeking my fault. IBM. All right, IBM's below its 5 day. First off, not good. Not good. Well, if you're in shorts, that's good. But if you're in longs, being below your 5 day moving average is not good. Um, Honestly, it's just like a bear flag, right? It's weird though because you would rather see it kind of get a retest, but I mean it just gapped all the way down and it's still going sideways. So because the 5 day is also moving flat, um, it's showing consolidation. So unless it breaks this low, or in this kind of range, you kind of I personally would kind of wait for it to pick a side, you know, give me something first at least, but yeah, if it does continue lower, like I said, let the bear flag break down. You'll probably get a measured move, and this is the daily chart, remember, so nothing's gonna happen overnight, or it can, but you don't want to just go instantly at the money, or what I'm saying, like this week contract or whatever, you stick to your game plan. But personally, I wouldn't try to catch this move now, anticipate, because like I said, the 5 is starting to flatten out. You're not really losing this low just yet, and you're not breaking out just yet. So IBM, IBM kind of sideways consolidation, but yeah, I'm like, what is this? I keep forgetting y'all told me to look at this up. But yeah, before I go, is there any more tickers y'all want me to look at real quick? Give me like a little spy just took my let's get back on her. Get back on her. Dead homies. Yeah, so you want this to kind of, mess around. You want it to seem like it's about to dump, right? And then you'll probably see them trick everybody and be like, gotcha. So let's see. IBITS, IBIT. I got you. Hold on 1 second. Let me trim another one of these ASTSs because I'm like I said, I'm about to dip. Oh, there we go. Hold on, baby. Let's go. Let's There we go. I'm trying not to scream. If I was at home, y'all know I'd be like, Uh, oh, come on. Let's look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look where we are. Look, bottom of the range. Shink. Bottom of the range. Bink. Sweep bottom of the range. Ultra. I should have bought the. Dang, I should have bought like three different strikes for three different expirations and just took them all off the table like that. Yeah, I think we're up like up something nasty. Yeah, each one of these is up. What did I get in at? 1.9. Their each contract is 3.55. So that's about 150 per contract. Hims looking good, holding that trend line, looking good. Spy looking good for a nice little bear trap. Remember, anything under here though, this is the thing about bear traps. Obviously you can play them because you know 0DTs move fast, but you want to trim as you get into the zone just in case. Because remember, you have a low, high, low, high, low. So now you want to make sure. There we go. You know, you don't want to make sure you don't want to get caught and this be a lower high. But if you did buy that dip entry on Spy, congratulations. You know, you know, you know, you know, you know, you know. So yeah, if you listened to anything I just said, you saw, you know, this was a bear trap, nice little entry. If you did snipe that entry, you'd probably be up like 40%. But I was talking to y'all, so I didn't get the best. I actually got in right here. But yeah, 15%, 20%, I'll go ahead and trim most of those. You know me, I like to go heavier 0 DTs. Um, get a quick 20-30%, you know, that first huge candle, I'm out because then I'll have a nice cushion of profit just in case my 1 DTs, my 2 DT, whatever other trade I'm in, just in case I get a little drawdown. I'll have a nice little chunk of um 0 DT profit, you know. So yeah, I didn't trade short expiration on ASTS. I bought a Leap January 100 call. Oh, you're banking then. My boy is banking. You bought a 100 call, a Leap. Oh, bro, you might get that Friday for earnings, you know? Mm, should I buy? I'm trying to think, should I buy 100 stripes just for this earnings? I'll figure it out. But yeah, so AXTS, like I said, my fault, ASTS. I'm in ASTS 522, $100 C, and I'm in HIMS 529, $40 C, and then I have a few of these left. Spy, I'm already out of most of those. Like I said, zeros, I just used it to grab me a quick little 20% chunk of you know, cushion. And then I still have obviously my 742 for 1 DT. Just because like I said, you know, I'm probably hold those unless, like I said, remember anything below this, you got to trim into this because it can set a lower high. And then if we set a lower high, you got to be careful of it, you know, starting to change character and get a lower low. So you know, just because it does look bear trappy and it, like I said, it could be, you know, but the only way to confirm is once it takes out that high. You know, takes out the high, now you look to the next target for confirmation. But that's why I said I'm out of zeros, you know, I'll probably leave a few runners, you know, just because, you know, just because. But yeah, 9:45. I told my mom I'd be up in like 5 minutes. She better beat my ass. Yeah, yeah, I see the kid. I've had this piece for 6 years. 6 years, man. 6 years. I treat all my jewelry with care. I got an ultrasonic cleaner. I always make sure all my everything's clean. My earrings, gotta make sure you keep them nice and you know. I hate when I see people when they have earrings in or their earrings are just like dingy and dirty. I'm like, ooh, brother, ooh. Bracelets, you know, you always gotta have those nice and clean. You know, gotta have a watch nice and clean. You feel me? I've been collecting watches since I was like 18, man. I bought my first Rolex when I was 18, but I wasn't trading back then. I was hosting concerts. I was on tour and stuff like that. But it was fun. It was a cool time to be alive. But yeah, now I'm just fully trader, you know, full time trader. But I love it, man. I love it. I love it. It's the only job I've ever had for real. Because I went from when I was in high school, I sold sneakers, I sold Yeezys, you know. I was one of those early investors into the Adidas Yeezy. So, you know, remember when Yeezy came out, everybody was like, these are ugly, like no one's gonna buy these. I'm talking about the 350s, the OG 350s. So I was an early buyer of the early 350s. So I had a bunch of pair. And then bro, one day they just took off and I was selling them for like $1,000 a pair. Like It was crazy. My mom was like, "Are you selling drugs?" But she was freaking out, and she used to be so scared of me, like walking around with cash and stuff like that. So she'd be like, "Oh my god." So yeah, and she was like, well, "What are you gonna do? You can't sell sneakers forever." This was like, probably like 2015. So I'm like 16 years old. So she probably was like, "No way, he's getting that from online money." So yeah, so I did that, and then she was like, "Well, you gotta get a job." So I ended up going to the military. I was in the military for 4 years, then I got kicked out, and then I just moved back home, found me a condo downtown, started trading, and that's what I've been doing ever since. But I wouldn't trade this for anything in the world, man. It's so much easier than anything, right? Because when I was in the military, I worked in intelligence, so it was pretty stressful. Weird hours, it's just way too much for an 18-year-old. You know, it's just a lot. But I mean, it's a good experience. It taught me patience for sure. I think that's why it's so easy for me to trade because I don't have a problem with you know being patient because as traders we get paid to wait. 90% of the time I'm in here just yapping to y'all because there is no trade setup. But once that trade setup we hit it, we instant green, right? It's rare that we ever have drawdown on this channel, right? Once we get in trade, especially when I'm live trading, we rarely go drawdown, right? We'll probably sit, for a little bit, but drawdown rarely happens because if you're patient, you wait for the best entry, it's either gonna go when you get your best entry, you get your best entry, or if it doesn't, you stop out on to the next trade, right? You reanalyze, right? We never force trades over here. We never do none of that. So, um, yeah, I think the military helped me, be patient. Just because they would tell you to hurry up and wait. They'll make you be like, "Hey, I'll be right back. Stand right here," and then they would just never come back for like an hour and a half. So it's irritating, but patience is definitely a virtue when it comes to this. Was that an hourly bull flag on Nvidia from last Friday? All right, let's check real quick. Oh, hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on. And turn all this off. My fault. I have so many charts for so much just different stuff. I really don't even remember what this is for, what I made this for. Yes, remove, 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 remove. Oh yeah, we caught NVIDIA last week. Actually, we might get some NVIDIA right now. What's this? NVIDIA 230. Hold on, let me see. Before I go. Oh, I put NVIDIA. I'm like, hold on. NVIDIA. Zero DTs. I'm like, hold on, why are they so cheap? I'm going 2DT 230 call right now, locking it in. I'm locking it in, baby. I'm locking it in. We're locked in. All right, so now I have. Thank you for that, my boy. Hold on, what's my boy's name? Night Wolf 8753. Big shout out to you. But to answer your question, and by the way, I'm not full size anything on this. Want to clear today's high first, and then I'll probably add a few more. But I have 230s for not zero DT, but Jose, my guy, appreciate you. But yeah, I have zero. I don't my fault. I don't have zero DT. I have tomorrow's 230 just in case. Just in case. But yeah, so I went off of this. Yeah, I think I went over this or Thursday. Yeah, last Thursday I went over this. Yeah, we had a nice little bull flag, right? And I said, hey, we either break down and go, we break out and go. So overnight, we kind of, well, really we didn't do nothing for the rest of the day. That's why I forgot about in the video. We didn't really do anything. But yeah, if we can clear this high a day, I'll grab a full position of 230s for two two DTs, whatever expiration that is. My days are all over the place. Let's check SPY because if Nvidia starts pumping, then SPY should get a nice little pickup too. Oh, back. It's like Spider-Man. My back. My back. But yes, that was a nice break. Oh, look, and this is why I said we don't chase shorts. Look at that. Let's check those contracts real quick. Everything's moving so fast. And I'm trying to hurry up and rush. Mom's mad at me. Yeah, so I'm gonna take more of those zero DTs off on SPY. I'm gonna take some more of those off. Definitely gonna leave it runner, just for the screenshot. Look, when you go green, like big green on a trade, you gotta leave a runner just for the screenshot. Because look, if we do go 740 or 741 today, those zero DTs are gonna be like over 100 something. And I can't wait to screenshot and be like, I told y'all in live, I told y'all this was a bear trap. So you see that? You see how this? You see this? No one does it like this. Your favorite guru YouTuber is not doing it like this. He can tell you after the fact. Your favorite guru will be like, I took this trade. I took this trade today. Nah, 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 nah. If we don't see the entry on your trade, we don't care. We don't care. So all you fake gurus watching, trying to jack your boy style. If you ain't trading live with the people, giving them entries, giving them plays. But yeah, look at that. Look at that. Oh my God. You see that? You see this? Do y'all see this? And we're Hive Day. I'm trimming 45%. Easy work. All right, so I'm taking 10 more off, and I'm gonna leave. Like I said, I'm gonna leave. How many should I leave? Actually, no, I'm just take off all the zeros. Like I said, I'm gonna be traveling today. I don't want to get, but I'm leaving the ones. I'm leaving those ones. Oh, Nvidia. Big shout out to you, my boy. Big shout out to Jose, man. Big everybody give a round of applause for him for bringing that up to us. Don't you just love when there's no drawdown? Don't you just love it? 40. Yeah, my mom gonna have to wait. Don't you know? Pump it up. What is that? You got to pump it up. I can't play music because I'll get demonetized and shit. There we go. Dropping this in the chat. Big shout out to my boy Jose. Big shout out to you, Genki. Just got in 232. Let's go. Big shout. That's crazy because when I went live last was Thursday and I was like, hey, we'll watch this bullfight breakout. But because I'm always jumping in between tickers and looking at this and looking at this, looking at this, I always see, look at that. No one else told you that this was a bear trap. No one. Not your favorite trader, not your Discord server owner. No one told you that this was a bear trap except your boy. I love doing this, man. I love helping y'all. I love teaching y'all stuff that most people just don't know or they just don't pay attention to. Let's see. Let's see. Somebody just tag me. Caught the bear trap on SPY. And ah, there you go. There you have it. Like I said, no one else told you this was a bear trap. No one else told you that. Everyone told you, hey, it might be time on short. That's what I think. So yeah, I'm trimming NVIDIA. Those are up 60%. So whenever you have a banger, obviously you leave runners, but you don't wanna you don't want to hold and hope. You feel me? Because remember, you remember I always say you can always roll out, right? You can always roll out. So I'm gonna roll to a further out position. So then I can just remember I use my zero DTEs to give me cushion. So SPY went 50% on zero DTEs. That's my cushion. So no matter what I do today, I will never go green to red because all my expirations are far out now. I just use my zeros to give me that you know, cushion. That's crazy. We literally did that in one. All right. So I order filled. Order filled. I'm out of those ones. I mean those twos. So now we're gonna roll into NVIDIA. Okay. NVIDIA 230 or 240. Yeah, I'm gonna roll into NVIDIA 240s for May 18th. NVIDIA 240 May 18th. That's what I'm in. So I took the 230s off the table. I'm moving into NVIDIA 428. Wait, what did I say? May 18th. May 18th. So that's good. Him's finally waking up. ASTS, we bought that at open. Don't even gotta look at that. SPY new all time new all. Yeah, actually, yeah, new all time highs. So yeah, that's actually gorgeous. There you go, baby. Bank, 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 bank. Yeah, better trader than your favorite guru. I'll die on that hill. I'll die on that hill. And then of course, like I said, our 1DTs for SPY, those are always green. Because when you buy time, you literally don't even have to look at them. I don't even have to look at those contracts. I'm green. Yeah, so that's it, man. It's almost 10. Yeah, I already told my mom I was gonna be up 5 minutes ago. We're actually using my phone as the using my phone as the webcam. So we'll see you guys. Actually, let me yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and log off here. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. But yeah, subscribe. Like I said, anything you need, hit me on Discord at okbet97. That's my username. Let me pull it up for you. That's me. So yeah, okbet97. Like I said, I'm gonna be busy today. I got a few mentors to get through. But yeah, um, yeah, I don't know what to say. We're just the best, And see, look, this is why we take the zeros and the short dates off, because any pullback can knock that 60 to a 20 or 30 really quick. So I took those off NVIDIA, and yeah, that's it. I'm trying to figure out where's my OBS so I can end this. Uh, did you add NVIDIA full? So I didn't add full, obviously, like I said, because I'm about to be on the road, but I did roll into those May 18th strikes. So I did roll. Um, took the 230s off the table. And like I said, I have 1 DT SPY calls. Like I'm trimming, each high. And ASTS, like I said, I'm just gonna hold those. We have earnings, so I'm gonna just hold those and chill. I appreciate all y'all. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, turn on notifications, because when I do go live, um, it's never a specific day or time. I literally woke up like 30 minutes ago. So I woke up, brushed my teeth, threw a little water on my face, was like, all right, let me go down to the lobby, start making some money on for the guys. So yeah, I'm glad we got to make some money on. Spy was super easy. Big shout out to my boy Jose for that in the video. And yeah, obviously I'm gonna hold because this is what I'm looking at, right? I'm looking at this channel. So we swept. So look, the same thing about the ASTS, how we swept that channel bottom, we got back above and started pushing, right? Same thing. I'm looking for this to play out just like this. So if you need a blueprint for what it to look like, just like that. So I'm in 518, 240s, 518, 240s. I'm in 529 somethings on these. I forgot 529s, 529 40s on HIMS, right? I'm in 100 522s on ASTS, and I'm in 742 1DTs on SPY. That's my position. Like I said, I will be trimming and selling as we go along, as we push, right? You play level to level. And don't be greedy. Don't get impatient. If you didn't make anything, you didn't catch anything today. Like I said, wait for pullbacks to get your entry. And if you're shorting, wait for your pullback to retest to get your short entry. So be patient, have fun today, guys. Like, subscribe, hit your boy on, like I said, Discord if you need anything.